everybody. My name's Craig.
I'm Brian.
I'm Burke.
And I'm Michelle.
This is Get Dunked On, the podcast.
Despite all my rage, I'm still just a
Nice.
Very few times, Brian, do you come through with a really good, like, I know you think they're all good, but like to one where it hits everybody, everybody gets what you're going for because we know where the conversation's going.
Yeah,
and it's not like completely like, you know, if we did Star Wars and you're doing like the Star Wars theme, like, okay,
sure.
that's really on, you know, that's on brand for this. And yeah, it's on brand for this podcast. That was a good one where it's like, yep, that's where we're going with it, but you don't exactly know where. That's perfect. That was really good one, Brian.
Thank you.
That one.
Thank you.
I wanted to give you that one. What I don't like is my sleeping habits as of lately. And I only bring this up because I finally figured out what the hell's going on. So the past, like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 weeks or something like that, I've been waking up, no problems, whatever. And then I get to work, I sit down and I sit for a while because I sit at a computer for my job and I just do a lot of work on the computer. And then I basically get up to go eat lunch and I get up to use the bathroom, you know, and then if I, you know, can get up to go do something else at a time, I'll do that. But for the most part, like if I've got a busy day, like I'm literally just going to sit there for 3 hours, get up, make lunch, prepare lunch, whatever, sit back down with my lunch next to me, and I'll sit there and just work and eat for the next like 2 hours or something like that, 3 hours.
Sure.
And then I'll get up. I'm like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom now. Like that's just kind of how it goes. I just do a lot of sitting and whatnot. And then lately I've been getting up the last, like I said, 4 or 5 weeks or something like that. I've been waking up and like I am sore as hell randomly in the middle of the day. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? You know, and so my initial thought is, okay, well, I'm getting older. I'm not that old, but I'm getting older. And so my body's like, oh, dude, you can't sit down for this long at a time and not like get up and stretch your legs and stuff like that. But it's like weird, like hip hurting and all this other stuff. And originally I was like, well, maybe it's this desk chair. But then I'm in an ergonomic one at other times, like at the one I'm in right now. And it still happens, you know, maybe to a lesser extent, but it still happens. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? And I finally kind of figured it out. I've got a really goofy bed. I used to work for a bed company and I got one of their most ridiculously like awesome beds for the trading of my soul is how I put it. So I traded something probably that's actually truthfully probably not worth a lot for this amazing bed, right?
Sorry.
I'm just picturing that you work the literal devil and he's just sitting there just going, excellent, have your bed.
I wouldn't disagree with you on that one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But so the really cool thing about the bed is like you can open up the bed and change the firmness level whenever you want and stuff like that. It's not like a Sleep Number. You actually have to open up the bed and you can change the internal components. So with that being said, I finally figured out what the fuck is happening is where a normal person sleeps. You know, like if you lay down on a bed, like if you're going to test out a bed and you go lay down, just think of that area where you'd normally be laying down. Where a normal person sleeps, since I'm a side sleeper, I like it to be super soft so that my body can sink in certain areas and like keep my spine aligned. And that way I don't have a lot of like aches and pains and whatnot waking up like I'm having now. And I finally kind of took a look at it and I went, oh, wow. Yep. This is because I'm an utter and stupid asshole. I keep waking up and like I am basically curled up at the top of my bed as high up as possible to where like normally, like if my wife's laying like a normal human, my chest is where her head's at. And I'm like curled in a corner.
What the hell?
Holy shit.
And it's because I can't.
Are you a dog?
Yes. I can't sleep without. It's one of those, it's just the stupid things that you get like in a rut in and your body's like, nope, I got to have it that way every single time from here on out because you've been doing it for a year. I've been falling asleep with I have to have one of my arms underneath my head. So it's like my arm, pillow, then head, right? But lately I've gotten to the point where I can't bend my elbow when I do it. Otherwise it feels weird. It's just a feel weird. It's not even like, oh, it's painful. It's like, I don't like this. And so I like it outstretched. But we have a headboard behind us. So I have to like bend my body so I can fully extend my arm. And so I'm laying way up on the top part of the bed, which is like all firm parts of the bed. Like, because, you know, we're, like I said, normal humans they lay in the center of the mattress, basically. That's where all the soft shit is for my body that I've planned out and had there. And so the other stuff kind of goes around the edge, and I firm up the edges because you have to have the other stuff in the bed somewhere. And I'm like sleeping up the top, like Burke said, like a fucking dog asshole, like curled up on the top of it, but my hips and my butt are still in the soft part. So I'm basically sleeping on a fucking massive incline. And lo and behold,
That's weird.
Lo and behold, I went through the last like week. I go, I'm going to move myself down. And what do you know? My soreness has been going away.
Wow.
I was like, this is fucking stupid. My body's just like, no, you must have the arm extended. Go higher, bend yourself.
But wouldn't it make more sense that like you would climb lower to give yourself more space?
No, I hate when my feet hang off beds. Like, I can't stand that. And since I'm a smaller person, I'm a shorter person. Brian, you might be used to it because you're taller, but like you're taller than me at least. And Burke, you're also taller than me. But I don't like it when I can have any other part of my body hang off. I can have my arms hang off, nothing that matters. But if my feet are hanging off, it's weird. And it's not even like a fear. It's just like, this is super uncomfortable. I don't like it. And so it's just. So
you're 6'1", your feet tend to hang off anything but like at a queen size bed, for example, is literally like the smallest I can go, and even then, I'm right towards the end of it. So king
and queens are the same length.
Oh, then there you go.
Unless you get a
California King is it's longer, but it's also not as wide. So it's like you're going for length instead of width on that one.
Okay, that's
why
good to know,
everybody.
No.
It's 80. They're 80 inches in length when you're on Queens and Kings, and California Kings are 84 inches.
Good to know.
You literally go extra 4 inches on the height or on the length, but you lose 4 inches on the width from your local. I sold my soul for a bed salesman from 2 years ago.
I actually didn't know they were narrower.
Yeah, it's the same. It's
That's
technically the same surface area. I think so.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, but they're narrower.
Good to know.
So that was always one of my funniest things where people were like, well, we need to have the California King because they're bigger. We like to spread out and be away from each other. I'm like, well, then you want the normal king. They're like, no, we want the California King. I'm like, well, just to let you know, kings are 80, I think what the 80 by 60. And
I thought they were squares.
No, they're not. They're 76 by something. Let's look it up.
No, let's not.
Size. No, this is happening. This has to happen.
This is
70.
They're
76. They're 76 by 80. They're 76 by 80, and a California King is 72 by 84. Anyway, so that's where that's at. So yes, Brian, go with the California King, and your feet won't hang off the edge of the bed. Anyway, I'm a crotchety old man because my body was pissing me off, and I figured out it's because my body was pissing me off. I was like, you stupid thing, stop getting sore. Wait, I'm the asshole. Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else like that where somebody just realized like, oh wow, I'm dumb.
I mean, I did used to get a lot of bruises on my left forearm, and I was like, where the hell am I getting beat up on my left forearm consistently? It's from this exact chair that I'm sitting in that has a plastic armrest, and I tend to lean when I'm in certain chairs and what have you, and so I would lean on this thing, and I would sit here watching, either talking to you guys or watching YouTube or something like that in this chair for hours, and then the next day I would go look at my arm and I had a big bruise on it. I'm like, what the hell, man? And it's literally just the chair. So yes, I am unfortunately well versed in that realm as well.
Yeah, I would just get bruises all over, just randomly, and I was always blaming, my cat or whatever. No, it turns out I thrash a lot in my sleep.
Thrash?
I was always like, because I always wake up pretty much in the exact same position that I fell asleep in. So I was always under the assumption that I don't move in my sleep. No, I move a lot in my sleep, and it was in fact me bruising myself all of the time.
Oh my. I just picture you just as soon as you're like, good night everyone, good night, and then just literally just turning into a werewolf, just thrashing about. Meanwhile, Craig is curling up like a dog at the top of the bed, like.
No, my sister used to call me demon, like back when we would go on vacation and stuff when we were real young and we'd have to share a bed in the hotel rooms. She would call me the demon, or I was demon possessed at night because I'd move around and whatnot. I'm very surprised that I haven't woken up in a different state at some point. I move around so much.
And what about you, Burke?
Yeah, I can't think of anything like that, but I do know I move a lot. I will have full-on conversations with people while I'm sleeping and not remember.
Oh my God, that would
though.
freak me the hell out. Thank goodness you never talked to me when we lived together.
I argue with people.
Oh yeah, like I'm talking like this happened when I was young too. Like in high school, like I would fall asleep watching TV, and my mom would come in and go to bed, like wake me up at like 3 a.m. and I would go, okay, so how are you doing? And like have conversations while walking back to bed. Like fall asleep, wake up, don't remember a thing.
I fought with my cousin twice in my sleep.
Oh boy, did he win?
Yeah, like.
Duh.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I would, and I still do it. Emily goes, yeah, it wakes me up sometimes. Like if we're actually sleeping in the same bed, like she'll go, yeah, I'll hear you talking. I'll think you're awake, asking me something, and it turns out you're just sleeping, mumbling, talking, doing something.
We should get a mic in your room there, because like we could film a whole other podcast while you're, you know what I mean? Like, we'll put out 2 or 3 a week with all the extra content. Just saying, it's an option.
It is an option. Your brother also has done that to me before, Brian.
What's that?
I stayed at his place once and I heard him talking downstairs at like 4 a.m.
Oh, sure.
And I guess he was just talking, and I was like, it scared the shit out of me.
I grew up with it.
Scared. It scared the shit out of me. I'm not used to that.
Well, the reason you probably didn't hear it when we lived together is because we always had like 20 fans fucking going at full speed because we're so
That's
fucking
very
hot.
true. I fucking hate heat. I tell you that much. I hate being hot. I hate sweating. I hate being just all gross and feeling like I need to shower and I'm supposed to be somewhere that I probably hate in the first place as well. And I'm also there and people are looking at me and I'm like, don't judge me. I'm sweating. I'm not physically fit.
I smell a topic coming on.
Yeah, so that one is actually a reason that I hate something for an actual reason. There's a basis. There's substance behind the hate. What we're going to be talking about today are things that we hate or strongly dislike, whichever term you want to go with, for no apparent reason. Even if there is like an apparent reason, it's really nothing you can defend. It's just something you don't like. And I want to put this out there now that we all can be grown-ups about it, because some of us, totally me, may have some things that a lot of other people have and do and things like that, but I can't take it, and I try not to say anything and try because I know it's stupid. So I guess I'm saying I'm asking for you guys' forgiveness if I make anybody mad right off the bat, and that goes for the listeners too, because I know I'm the only one in the entire world that probably hates this.
Oh, here we go.
But I do. So
do you want to kick it off then?
Well, we can start with the hate where you guys hate me. If you want me to just go right for the throat, like the thing that gets me the most. One of the things that gets me the most.
Hey, we got an hour to kill, and if I'm gonna sort of stew in anger, maybe by the end of the hour I'll be over it. But let's be honest, I won't be.
Okay,
I don't think you will.
I think the biggest thing for me, and there's no point. Again, I'm putting it out there. There's really not a reason to not like it. Like, whatever, do your thing. It doesn't affect me in any way. But for some reason, I get irrationally angry when people use the term like their pets or their kids. They're like, "Oh, go see mommy and daddy," and they're talking about like, you know, like for example, I'm just using this as an example, Burke. If you're like, "Oh, go see mommy," and you're saying to go see your wife, I can't take that. Like, that breaks my brain. I'm like, no, that's not how this works. I fully understand that. I will not say that they're not a part of your family, because they are. That you are a pack to them for the dog, or you're a weird people that feed you if you have a cat. Whatever the relationship between you and an animal is, that makes sense. But like the whole like, oh, it's like daddy and mommy. I can fully get if you're going, hey, like if you have a kid yourself and the kid's like, hey, go see daddy or mommy, or you start using that terminology because there's a kid there as well, or you're saying it to your parents as well, like, hey, go see whatever. That can kind of make sense because there's actual those relationships were prior and exist, or that they are there. But like when it's just like, hey, go see mommy, that's your mommy, I'm like, no, it's not. You're the pet owner. By all means, you're going to treat this kid or treat this dog like a kid, because it better be fucking right up there with your kids. But fucking don't use that term. I can't take it. And I try not to say anything. I don't know if I ever have to you guys, but like,
I'm guilty.
Every single people do that. I'm like, It'd be one of those things where it's like, oh, we're gonna play Overwatch, and Brian, if you're like, oh yeah, go see mommy, be like, you just see 11 left game.
Well, it's funny you mentioned me though on that one, because I'm one of the exceptions where I don't actually do that, and the reason
I don't think you do.
And the reason I don't is because literally I'm near my mom and dad a lot, and so when I say go see dad, we're talking about my dad. That's why I say go see dad.
But that makes sense to me, because that's what you call this man in your life. Exactly. The whole time has been go see dad. Go. Get out of here.
Now, I will say this though. Even though I'm not guilty of it, I will say in defense of it, technically the part of the human brain that lights up, when you pet a dog and you react with it, or with a pet, I should say, is the same area that lights up when you are interacting with your kids, like when you're children.
Oh yeah.
So and so while I see where you're coming from, I can kind of. I'm not defending it, but I can kind of see where the thing is.
I'm not even defending myself to let you know.
Okay, good, because you won't.
I'm not going to try. I don't want to say anything to anybody because, one, it doesn't affect me. Like, who the fuck cares? If Burke does that with his wife and their dogs, like, who the shit cares? And that's what I try and take. Every time I hear it, and my brain starts going, like, it starts like fizzling a little bit. Like, there's sparks that go off to the side. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not something that's actually going to matter in the long run, which is why it's irrational, because there's no reason for me not to like it, or not to like have just a neutral expression on it. And to the thing where it starts coming, because I don't want to make the argument where it's like, well, you're not their biological father. I'm like, well, yeah, but there's a lot of families like humans where that's not your biological father or your mother or your sister, but they are your family because you've created this bond. Right. So that's why I'm saying, like, it's not. It's just that's why I can't. I can't.
It is irrational.
I can't reconcile it. It just, for some reason, my brain goes, no, pet, that's your fucking family. And you better actually like that thing better than your kid. But no, I just, it's really stupid. And I struggle with it every day.
He's a brave guy.
And I'm sure you hear it from me all the time, or you might. I don't know if it comes through the mic, but I say it all the time.
Pretty much
go get your mom.
Everybody. Yeah. Like almost everybody does it. I'm the only asshole in the world that's like, you fucking pieces of shit.
Wow.
That's awesome. So I kind of have, I guess I'll go next. Sure, why not? I have two that are kind of very related, not to that, but related to each other. And it came up last night or the night before, or maybe this past weekend when we were or over the New Year's or whenever. We were watching a movie. We were watching a bunch of movies, and we were watching it was a B movie, right? So I go into it thinking it's not gonna be that good anyway, but it's a sci-fi. I was excited. And it's basically, I don't remember, it's like a Netflix movie or something, or it's on Netflix. It's called The Painkillers. And so I'm watching this, and it opens up, and it's an elite team of, military team, whatever, goes off, and blah, blah, blah. They go to this cave, and they come back, and they don't remember anything. And so I'm like, oh, cool, let's watch this. So I'm watching it. And the military maneuvers are shit. And I'm just like, nope, you're doing it's not like I'm trained, but I know how it's done. But I'm like, you're doing it wrong. Just go talk to someone with some sort of fucking knowledge. And I get actually angry. Like, I can't pay attention to any of the dialogue. I can't pay attention to like anything else going on because their military maneuvers are just wrong. Like they'll be walking and their guns will be pointed at each other. I'm like, no, they'll go to enter a room and they don't clear it right. They don't look left, right. The correct way to enter. I'm like, and then kind of my second one, which is very, very close to this, is when they say something about guns and they're completely wrong.
Okay. Like make up a caliber that doesn't exist or something.
Like that, and like they'll say, "Oh, this is a 38," and I'm like, "No, that's a 45." Like I know that gun. It's a 45. And then that goes on top of this. This is probably the peak. Is when they use pistol firing sounds for rifles and vice versa. They are distinctly different bangs. And it's irrational. There's no reason. I don't care. I shouldn't give a fuck. It's a fictional story anyway. But when they go, it's an elite team, we're trying to be realistic, they're trying to make this something amazing, and they go, no, you're not even close to being elite.
Yeah.
I know one of our listeners and your brother Brian, Mike, would agree, because I know he will have I think he's had to stop movies before because he's like, that guy fired like 16 rounds out of that pistol. How's that fucking possible?
Yes.
Like shit like
Yeah,
that,
sure.
where like not keeping track of like ammo counts and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's other things he said and I've forgotten because I didn't notice it, but I know the like you've never fucking reloaded type shit happens a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
They've gotten a lot better. Hollywood has gotten a lot better about putting reloading in these days.
And one
though.
thing they're still pretty shit about is when people in movies are playing video games, and this is what you hear and say, "I was gonna say that."
Oh my god.
They're just sitting there, hitting all the buttons, and you look at the screen and it's Pac-Man, and it's like barely moving around. You're like, "The fuck are you stupid?"
Yeah, and it's gonna, when they're playing Atari Pac-Man, they're gonna have an Xbox controller in their hands.
Oh,
they'll
yeah,
be playing like.
yes.
Like I'm playing Halo and they've got a GameCube controller. You're like, what fucking Halo are you playing?
Okay, wait, hold on. Do you guys watch the new Jumanji?
Yeah.
Not yet.
I didn't go see it yet.
And like this is not giving away anything. In the opening scene of the movie, there's a kid playing like PlayStation, and I think he was playing like Twisted Metal or something, right? Like it was some sort of racing game, I think, if I remember correctly. But the point is that he was literally just doing this, mashing with his thumb, just the. And I'm like, it's a racing game. There's no fucking racing game on
Not playing
Earth.
Mario Party, bud.
like that's what I'm saying. Like there's no
We have to mash a
game
button.
on Earth that it's a racing game that requires you to mash a button. It's always like hold one button to go, shoot
Well, if you got
whatever.
the unlimited mushroom in 64 Mario Kart.
Even with that, like there's no way you're doing what that kid was doing, which was he had to move his thumb. And
it was stupid. It was stupid. I can agree with you.
Yeah.
I was looking at it going, again,
yeah.
my brain on the right side started sparking. I was like, oh no.
Oh.
What
So-
about okay, hold on. I'm sorry.
I have another example.
Okay, go
of
ahead,
this
please.
Same thing.
Go ahead.
So, and then you can go. So, Big Bang Theory. They're going, oh, dude, it's Halo night. We're playing Halo. They're showing clips of Halo. They're holding Xbox controllers. They're doing it. I was like, oh my god, yes. I was getting excited. They got it right. And then the audio was not the right audio.
How'd you get the license for the video portion and not the audio?
It was like you got stuck.
I remember when that happened.
I was like, I'm gonna stick it. And I'm like, no, you were so
Really, like, I would have
close.
even been happy in that because I remember that one. Like they used completely different audio. I'm like, you could have used everything from the game and then had like a random narrator be like, you got stuff. That would have made me happy if you heard like the same plasma explosions and a pistol fire or something like that. But no, they just completely ruined it.
Yep.
So what I was gonna say is that this kind of ties into like continuity errors, right? And like those actually can like sometimes they're funny to me. Other times they just genuinely make me angry. Like continuity errors. Like for example, I just saw a movie today. Actually, I went and saw that Father Figures. Have you seen this movie yet? Anybody? Okay, this is literally a non-spoiler scene because it's literally there's a character, Owen Wilson's character. He's standing there talking to another character, and he has a sucker in his mouth. Literally, it goes. He has a sucker in his mouth. Cut away. Cut back. Sucker's gone. Cut away, cut back, sucker's there. Cut away, cut back, sucker's gone. I'm like, what the fuck is with this sucker? And then you see him take it out of his mouth. And I'm like, it was in the mouth. And then he took it out. And you saw like there was a distinct part there. So why the fuck does it keep disappearing in and out of his mouth throughout the scene? And I'm like, this is a big budget movie with like 80 A-list actors. And why the hell can't they get a sucker right? Like, I'm sorry, like stuff like that.
I know, Burke, you've seen it. And I don't know if Brian or Michelle, if you have Justice League Dark, the animated DC movie.
Yes, I've
There's
seen
one
that.
scene, it always bothers me where, and I'll say that because I'll just put this part. They've got a wide shot of the whole character of the whole conversation that's happening. It's on the streets for the two of you that have seen it.
Okay.
And they zoom in on one character, and you see Superman literally standing half an inch away from this person. They go back to the wide. Superman's nowhere to be seen. And he's not actually in the scene at all either. Like he was in about like 3 minutes earlier, and he's nowhere near that scene. But like the animators must have drawn him in at one point, and then like, oh, we don't need him actually in there. But they didn't fucking take that portion out. I'm like, what the fuck? Superman's, and it's not like, oh, he's weighing the background. I mean, it's a tight shot right on the person, and you just see the massive S on Superman's chest right here, and then it goes to a wide again, and he's nowhere to be seen. Those bother me when they're ridiculously obvious like that.
So this, so I'll go with another one here. This isn't exactly movie related, but it is kind of like, entertainment related, so to speak. People who play music out loud in public. Now, I know this could be considered something that people in general hate, but like specifically for me, like it comes into play at the gym more often than anywhere else. And it's one of those things where like I don't get angry about it. I get fucking furious. Like if you're gonna do anything, this isn't just music. This is phone calls. If you have a phone call, you do not hit speaker if you're in public. Fuck you. Yeah. Like that is the worst thing you could do.
Yeah, I can't count the number of times I try to go to the bathroom at work and there's people on their phones having full-on conversations in the restroom, and I was like, this is wrong on 75 different levels.
I mean, I just want to slap the phone out of their hands every time they're doing it. I'm like, what the hell's the matter with you? Like, I remember being in New York, and literally, I mean, New York's guilty of a lot of things like this, but like there would be people on the train literally just playing music as loud as they can, going better, 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 with their mouths along with the fucking songs, and I'm like, shut up, just shut up, like you can't do that, like just shut up, like, oh, it's the worst. Like that drives me insane.
Yeah, the only thing that I can give, because I want to try and be devil's advocate, one, I think that's a very rational thing to hate because it's something that's imposing on you.
Okay,
but I will say there was a time in my life, I would say for a full year, where the earpiece on my phone did not work. And if I wanted to answer the phone and I didn't have a set, like a pair of headphones with me, I had to answer on speakerphone. Otherwise, I couldn't do anything.
But that's a little bit different, I think, than people who actively choose it.
But like, you don't know if they're actively choosing it.
People actively choose it, and no one will say anything to them, including myself. I don't say anything, and it kills me inside every time I don't say something.
Yeah,
the music one gets me though. That one's just ridiculous. The only one I might be like, well, the earpiece might not work on the phone, but most of the time if they're yelling, but you when I was doing it, you would see me like hitting it as low as possible, be like, hey, okay, hey, can I give you a call back or whatever? But I feel like if they're that loud, they just don't give one shit.
No, they'll be like in the bathroom and they'd be like, girl, do you know what he did last weekend? Like he cheated on a bitch, and I'm just like, okay, like nobody needs to know all of your business and everybody else's business on speakerphone screaming in the restroom.
You need to comment when people are doing that, like with either supportive noises or something like that.
Just, oh hell no.
Like, you need to be very something like that, or start asking really deep questions. Like,
girl, tell me more. Tell me more.
Now, do you think this is something to do with maybe it stems from his childhood? And start getting real deep, or be really supportive. One of the two.
So I kind of agree with Craig's point. Like that is kind of a rational hate, but I do like the point because it bugs the fucking shit out of me too. So like the other day, and this is actually true story, happened probably a month and a half ago. Guy gets on a train, and like we've gone a stop. He gets on right at the beginning of the train, and everyone's on there. We're packed. We're all standing in there. Doesn't do a thing. Just whatever. We get to the next stop. He starts, blaring this loud, crude music. And everyone's like, what? Like, you hear this, like everyone just collectively looks at this guy. No one really says anything until a, like, old, like, 60, 70-year-old lady comes up and goes, could you please turn that down? And the guy blows up. Like, he goes,
no kidding.
You white people think you own this motherfucking train? You're lucky I don't have a gun or I'd shoot you.
To a 60-year-old lady?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, everyone on the train just like, there was people, there was this massive move back, and then you saw people going forward to intercept.
Oh,
and like,
no.
It was bad.
It was a bad scene on a train.
I was like, holy shit. Yeah, it was insane. Yeah, needless to say, I think the guy got off at the next stop and ran from the police. But yeah, it was very interesting.
Well, yeah, at that point, I'm sure, because you'd say that people would, call them saying this is, what is it? What's that called? That when you threaten somebody, there's a legal term for it, but yeah, whatever that is,
intent.
Yeah, there was something like that.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, but man, holy shit,
it was insane. But yeah, so yeah, but going back to our topic, yeah, I don't like that. I'm like, why? There's no entertainment value.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, okay, so like that one obviously has a little bit more of a thing there, but how about this one then? Fiats, fuck Fiats.
I remember this story in our stream.
Yeah.
when I drove the Fiat and it was faster than like Ferraris.
No, I hate
Just to
Fiat. They're
piss you
fucking
off.
stupid. They're the stupidest car ever made. Like every time I see one on the road, I literally want to flip it. And I bet you I could because they weigh about 80 pounds. Like literally, I hate Fiats. And I drive a small car, but I think they are an abomination to the road. So fuck Fiat.
Oh, that actually reminded me of a second one that I didn't have. So I'll go with that one real quick because it kind of relates to that. I think I've mentioned this before too. That burnt orange color on cars and wood paneling on cars. And
Woody.
if they're combined.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
I'm going to get a burnt orange wood paneled Fiat and just drive it right to both of you.
I've seen a burnt orange wood paneled PT Cruiser and I was like, I want to destroy this person.
Oh my god. Can we collectively all chip in to buy one of these things?
We need to figure out what Bert hates the most, and then I will have the ultimate I hate the get dunked on crew vehicle.
I mean,
but yeah, I just
it has destiny.
Thankfully,
and
like
only destiny.
all of that seems to have fallen out of style, and it's been quite a while since I've seen a PT Cruiser that color or the wood paneling. But I was like, for a few years there, I was like, I hate driving because I might see one of these. But
It's like, I'm not going to drive because those fucking cars are out there.
they're out there.
but my one thing that I had thought of before the podcast is gold. I hate the color gold. I hate the metal gold. Like, I just don't like gold. And I don't
hate the
don't
gold Power Ranger.
have a good reason for it. No,
What about
yellow
white
is
gold?
fine. I don't like gold. No,
I'm
white
saying the
gold
gold
is
Power
fine.
Ranger.
White gold's fine.
Okay.
Rose gold is fine. I hate
So it's the
just
color.
regular gold.
Also, I bet you love going to old churches and seeing gold leaf just freaking everywhere.
Absolute favorite.
Oh my gosh, all of Lucia's stuff's gonna be gold. Gold-plated armor. It gives you a plus 90 to AC. You're like, nope, I'm out.
She's literally watching The Hobbit and fast forwards when they get to the inside of the.
I mean,
inside of the mountain.
Yeah, it's not so much like, stuff like that where, I can't watch a movie because there's gold around or anything. It's just like, I don't know how to say this nicely, so I guess I won't. If John had presented me with a gold engagement ring, I probably would have said no.
Wow. Holy shit. Does he know that?
Better, but
I love that. Thank you,
it's
Michelle.
like, it's for me. Like, I don't care if other people are wearing
It's
it,
for
but like,
me.
if it's something that somebody's giving to me, like, please don't make it gold.
What if
You just
what if he
told the
presented?
wrong group. I am so
Yeah,
sorry.
you did.
oh,
What if he
that's
presented it to you
amazing.
and was like, "This is the symbol of our love, and I want to spend my life with you"? And he presents you with the golden band, and
Well,
you would have
he
literally.
knew I hated gold, so if he did that, like, I'd be offended. Like,
But what if what?
Yeah.
But what if he says like, "This was my great grandmother's. It was smuggled over from Europe during
I'll
the
be like,
war."
let's replicate it in silver.
What?
The good thing is he knew beforehand.
I don't like gold.
Man, I'm glad I never sent you anything that's a gold color that I know of. How many things have you thrown away that I've sent you over the years, Michelle?
Oh my god!
No. I have the best wedding gift. We're getting her like a Midas, Midas like painting, just massive ones that she has.
No, we actually have to invest in figuring out how to turn it to where anything she actually does touch turns to gold color. Not the weight or anything like that of gold, because you absolutely wreck the whole entire gold market. So just gold coloring. Like, she touches anything, it's fucking gold from here on out. She like touches her favorite shirt. It's like, well, that shirt's gold now.
We're gonna show up in gold ties to the wedding.
Oh, can we? That would be amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Suits,
You
we're
know
gonna
I
be
would.
fucking, like Dumb and Dumber type suits, but we're all in gold.
Yes. I'd say she's just like, get out.
And it's not even like gold on white on gold or anything. It's gold on gold on gold. Like gold suit jacket, gold pants, gold undershirt. Like full on, dude. We're going gold. I've got something that's somewhat kind of similar. It kind of goes back to the car thing, and it also goes back to it kind of goes with like gold as a decoration, as Michelle's been using it. When people decorate their cars with anything besides a sticker on the window. Like, if you do stickers on the windows, those make sense. But like when people put bumper stickers on the actual like paint of a car, that I irrationally get like twitchy about it when people put flags on their car, like, oh, I'm any flag, I don't care what flag it is, all the way from like, hey, I'm supporting my local like high school football team, all the way up to the American flag. I'm like, get the fucking flag off your car. There doesn't need to be this big waving shit behind you like the entire time.
No, hold on, Craig.
I'm not done.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not done.
Okay, but I got a question
And
about
I
that.
will actively run into oncoming traffic and tackle your car with my vehicle if you have fucking reindeer antlers on your car and a goddamn red nose on the front of it.
Yeah,
I will fuck you up.
I had a worker whose car broke down and she was driving her dad's car who had the reindeer stuff on it, and she was getting so mad because she was like, we're big on like when you leave at night, like, you know, go with people, don't walk, you know, by yourself to your vehicles. And so people will tend to park next to each other, and nobody would park next to her. And she's like, I don't understand. And this one guy's like, you're embarrassing. Your car has fucking reindeer on it. Like,
Oh my
it's my
God.
dad's car. And he's like, I don't care. It's embarrassing. So like we literally wouldn't park next to her because
I
like,
wouldn't either.
Now,
You guys could need me in the most possible, the deepest possible way. And I would bail on our friendship if you had the antlers and a fucking Rudolph nose on the front of your car.
Now, I'll give you that. I'm going to give you, like, you know, for sure. But I want to go back to the stickers because you said something in there that kind of like threw me off a little bit. You would rather them have the stickers on the window than you would on the bumper?
Back window, yes.
Oh, that's a nightmare. I wouldn't want any stickers on my windows because that affects my line of sight versus like the bumper sticker. You never have to see it. Like when, like, you know,
I have
it's
multiple stickers on my windows, and you would be amazed at how easy they are to ignore.
Oh,
Really?
It's very, I mean, yes. If you have a sticker in the middle of it, okay, now it's just a hazard. Like if you've got a sticker. Brian, have you ever driven my car by chance?
No, I don't think I ever did.
The stickers I have them on there, you definitely see them when you're like when you're riding behind and stuff like that. You literally can't see them because it's so flat. You can't see them. And I used to have it in my big Tahoe. I'd put stickers in the bottom and top corners.
Sure.
And it's so out of the way. Like the chance that there's something life threatening in the space of this on my view, like the, you know, a 7 by, I'm being generous, a 7x4 inch sticker is pretty low. If you're putting massive stickers in the middle of your back window, then yeah, that's not an irrational. That's you potentially are hurting other people if you can't see through. Because I know there's some stickers that you can put on the back that are like see through, like because they're like a meshy thing and you can see through them. But like, and maybe not even the bumper if you have like a plastic bumper. For the most part now, like there's a lot of like bumpers that are not like the plastic. They're like a good whatever. And I'm like, oh, if you take that off, that you are just gonna rip paint off with that thing whenever you do that. I just so that one's part rational, but
And
I can't
the
take
eyelashes on headlights.
oh Lord.
It's not even a thing. That's not even a thing.
But
Nobody
like
has
no, it is
that.
a thing.
the
it's a
flag
thing.
thing. The flag
It's a
thing bothers
thing.
me when people like clip flags in. I see it down here a lot because they'll have like their college football team. They'll have like the flags clipped into their doors, you know, and they're just like the little like whatever fucking 8x11 flags and whatnot. And obviously, I live in the South, so you got like 90% of the trucks have a like 90 foot by 400 foot American flag hanging off the back.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I can't take any of those. I can't take a single fucking one of those.
So the thing I hate the most, like in this category, is the little stick figure families.
Ooh.
Yeah, those are pretty bad.
I don't get it. Why?
It's like the Calvin and Hobbes peeing on things. It's just something that's been around, I guess. I don't know.
Why? Like for me, like I rationalize it. Like my hate is, I think this one's fairly rational, at least in my head. So let me know if I'm not. You're telling everyone, hey, it's me and my wife, and we have 3 fucking kids and a dog and a cat. Thank you. Like if I wanted to know that information, obviously you can get it anywhere. But I'm like, why would you even
Volunteer
put that
it,
information out there? Like, yeah, I have kids, I have a family. Okay, I don't want anyone to know that who doesn't. I don't. Hell,
I would say
I don't
that's
know.
I would
I
say
gotcha.
that's somewhere between 10 and 15% rational. The rest of it's like, who the fuck cares? Like if you're like,
Yeah,
if you-
well, yeah,
like I've got this
exactly.
many. Like if I literally looked at you for half a second, took a picture, then reverse Google searched you, I'd probably find you on Facebook.
oh yeah. I mean, like it's very like, but because I am kind of I like my privacy a little bit, even though I do this shit, whatever. Like I've kind of laxed my terms, but like it's still just like, what? No. It's a bad idea.
Did you know I've got a stick figure thing on the back of my car, Berkey?
Yeah, I
It's
think
one
I
stick
did.
figure, and he's got a bag of money next to him because he doesn't have kids. Yay!
Yeah.
I thought it was funny because
See, I would do
I hated
something
the
like
fucking
that.
stick figure family thing, and I thought that was funny. And then Sarah
I
for a
would do
while
that.
had
I
the
would
one
do
where it was
that.
like a stick figure family being mauled by a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Sure.
And that was kind of funny. I like that one too. I like the ones that are poking fun at it.
Like
Yeah.
the funny ones I'm okay
Yeah.
with. Those are I like those, but no.
I sent you guys the D&D one, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I liked that one. I was like, ooh, I kind of want to get that.
All right,
So-
guys.
Wait, just
Did you have something else
I
before
just
the-
want to throw one more thing out there.
Okay.
Just kind of related to the car thing. Unpaved roads. We live in 2018. Every road should be fucking paved by now. I don't care if it like I don't know. It's irrational because I'm sure there's it's a lot of money who would pay for it. I don't care. Pave every fucking road that is a road. Like they're just all the roads they basically need to be paved if they're any sort of residential. And there's a lot of unpaved roads near me, and it drives me insane. And it's just completely irrational. I understand that.
That's something that's kind of statewide. Or not statewide. Like Michigan has unpaved road. The state of Tennessee, you have to pave every single road. Unless if it's a private road.
I love that law.
Yeah, that's not a law out here. There's way too many. Well, like in the city, it's good, but once you get in the mountains, no.
Well, like if you're in a residential area that's connected to a city, there's no reason the road should not all be paved.
I get it in your sense because I know what you're talking about. Like, yeah, like I'm like, the first time I went to your house, I was like, oh, when you kidnapped me, I was like, where the fuck are we going?
Right? And that road there, that one road that I took you down, should be paved. There's no reason for it not to be paved.
It every time I went up there, it threw me off.
I
I'm like,
literally
what the fuck?
considered buying a house on that road just so I could go say, "Hi, I'm your new neighbor. Let's put this ordinance through," and like try to force the issue. I swear to God, I've actually considered that. Like it drives me insane.
I'm just gonna run through my rest of mine just real quick. Like they're gonna be kind of bullet point, and you guys can say one thing, and I won't even try and defend it. Another one. That I don't like that has to do with animals is dressing animals in anything besides functional clothing, like putting pads on them or putting like, hey, it's cold out, I'm going to put a jacket on the dog because he might actually be cold. Anything else, not trying to pick out anybody, putting them in Halloween costumes and stuff like that. Nope, can't take it. Seasonal decorating. I honestly just hate seasonal decorating. People that go through like, oh, let's put out our spring decorations. Let's put out our summer decorations. Let's put out our fall decorations. How about you put out the shut the fuck up decorations? And this one really came to light lately.
I just don't like decorations in my house. It's just more shit to clean.
Yeah, I don't mind having things decorated like, hey, we're going to have this up and this up. But it's like, oh, every 2 months, we're going to take all of it down and put something else back up that's functionally the same thing. But instead of it being like a slim summer case, it's going to be like more fall with like, it's going to look like wood something. I fucking can't take it.
Wood something.
Well, that one's,
my wife did that for
one's
a while.
something kind of irrational because my mom we used to literally every 2 months, we had a different set of decorations. And you guys remember the house that we lived in, I had to change out every fucking room. And so like I just fucking hate them now. And this last one came up from books recently. One author used the same fucking term over and over again all the time. And so I've started picking up these fucking useless terms like needless to say, it goes without saying, things like that. I've started really fucking hating. Every time I hear them, I want to throw something. That's my list.
And I read the same book. Craig talked about it. I didn't notice it. I think I tried to notice it and I didn't
Every
notice
time it popped up, I almost threw my phone.
Yeah, he texted me instead.
Every time. Needless to say. Like, then why the fuck even put that, dude? Just move on. You had an editor. Was your editor not working the day he looked at this book? Fuck you.
I mean, I feel like that goes without saying, Craig.
Fuck you. That's it. That's what I got.
That was good.
That's it.
That was good, Brian.
That's power rankings.
I like that one. Yeah, I think my only other one was this avocado burger thing. I don't did I tell Craig this story? I must have or something. I don't know.
Avocado burger.
So my wife, like, she reads all these crunchy like websites. So all the little moms and we got to be eat healthy and shit. They're called crunchies. So all the health nuts. Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Didn't know that. Yeah. So someone goes, you can make an avocado burger, and it was this whole like video, like food production video. Here's what you do, and I'm trying to make this fast. You peel the avocado, you slice the avocado in half, you peel it, and then you like stuff it with stuff, and you eat it like a hamburger.
Sounds awful.
Like so the fucking avocado and I'm getting pissed. God damn it! The avocado is your fucking bun. Who the fuck?
They're
Why?
mushy. They're not even.
Dude, like, yes, I want to look like a fucking green Martian while I'm eating a hamburger. God damn, like, why? What? No. Sorry.
I'll give you stuffed peppers. I won't go to avocado burgers.
You literally look like like you're the fucking Jolly Green Giant at that point. You're just you're just all green, or you're the Hulk, or I guess that'd be more probably.
Well,
kids
also
would know
just
the Hulk.
based off the term avocado burger, I would assume that it was a vegetarian patty made out of avocado, not the avocado being burger. The. No, I'm saying like the
Actual
patty
bread.
was like avocado with other stuff, on top of it then, and then it's on a bun. But I wouldn't, if you said avocado burger, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, the avocado's the bun.
Yeah, I'm right with you on that one. All right,
avocado on a burger is good though.
That's fine. It's just
on a burger.
Yeah, that's just topping, not when it's the
you also
burger.
have to have it. Yeah, you also have to have half a pound of meat in there too.
Yeah, at least half a pound, if not 3 pounds. All right, Burke. Before we get too angry, let's just move on. Otherwise, we're gonna start throwing things.
I know.
And another thing.
All right. So, unlike last week's quiz, guys, I'm pumped for this one. So, I hope y'all enjoy it as much as I thought this would be. Okay. I liked it so much, guys. I wrote a blurb on how to on what we're doing. Okay. This quiz is based around what you hate more. So, this is how it's going to work. I will give you a series of 3 choices for you to pick. Once the choice has been made, the choice is taken off the board and you will have to choose from the remaining options. For example, I will ask, what do you hate more, X, Y, or Z? In this case, Brian goes first, chooses X, and argues Y. Craig chooses Z and argues, and therefore leaving Michelle to argue why she hates Y so much. The order in which you will answer will change between each question, and I have already determined that order throughout the quiz.
Ooh.
Any questions?
No, this is fun. I like this.
All right. Okay, so it is short because I think it's going to be a little bit long, but bear with me. Okay, question number 1. And this is just a warm-up. Which founding father do you hate the most? George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, or Ben Franklin? I'm sorry, seeing y'all laugh.
Okay. What the fuck? Okay, I see your game.
George Washington, Ben Franklin, or who was the last one?
Thomas Jefferson.
And do I get to pick first?
Right. Craig, Michelle, Brian.
Shit.
All right, so it's got to be Ben Franklin, right? Like, he is by far the worst founding father. There is bar none any way you could get around this. First of all, the dick was like, oh, look, I'm Ben Franklin here. And what kind of name is Benjamin Franklin? That sounds like 2 first names squished together. Like, and you can't do that. And then also, you know what he represents? He represents just like absolute wealth, because that motherfucker's on the $100 bill. So like, and he had some provision in the Constitution that no one's read yet that made him become the $100 bill note. Like, he was like, well, because back in the day this would have been a lot of money, $100 in 1776, so he was like, there's never gonna fucking come up with this, but when they do, if it happens, I'm gonna be the motherfucker that's the face of this note. That note is gonna be my motherfucking face. So the rich look at it and they go, yeah, I've got Benjamins here, and he foresaw all of this. So that is why he is the worst founding father.
All right. Michelle?
All right, I'm gonna go with Thomas Jefferson. My argument's a little shorter, unfortunately, but my argument is that, like, he sat down and wrote the Declaration of Independence, and who the hell does he think he is that he gets to decide what the entire country says to England?
Oh my god. Yes.
Not bad. So that means I have to argue why George Washington is the worst founding father.
Yes.
You guys, thank you for giving me the easy one. So first off, I want to let you guys know a little secret, Burke. Benjamin Franklin was a baller. All right, he was sweet. So you got the 3 of them say, because he wanted to make the turkey to be our bird, and he smoked a lot of weed. So he's a cool dude, right?
All right.
Jefferson, he was a linguist. He was a thinker. He was a eventual president. But Washington, that fake tooth motherfucker. All right. That guy damn near lost us the war, and this is true, we had to get a guy from fucking Europe that Ben Franklin brought back to teach our guys how to survive Valley Forge because he was doing such a shit job and was going to lose us the war. So in other words, he got to be fucking founding father, president, blah, 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 thanks to everyone else's work but his own. Boom. He sucks.
Oh my god. I was gonna give the best 3, 2, and 1. I don't know what to do.
We broke his quiz, guys.
Oh my god, that was amazing. Everyone gets 3 points.
Yay!
Oh my god. I thought that was gonna be the worst question. I'm kind of oh shit, I don't know where this is gonna go. Okay. Which pop product?
Craig liked the line, fake tooth motherfucker.
That was good.
That was fucking great.
Craig's reaction to that was my favorite part of that.
Oh, that
whole
was
thing.
good. Okay. Question number 2. Which pop product do you hate the most? Coke, Pepsi, or Fanta? Sorry if those are overlapping at all. And it's Michelle, Brian, and Craig.
I'm gonna go with Coke. Yeah, that shit's too carbonated. It's expensive. It never goes on sale. Seriously, go to a store. It never, ever fucking goes on sale the way every other brand does. It's horrible. The flavored Cokes are terrible. They don't use the flavors right. That vanilla Coke, delicious idea, but that aftertaste leaves your mouth feeling like cotton. It's disgusting.
All right.
Brian?
Obviously, the worst out of the 3 is Fanta. Obviously. And you want to know why it is? Because of that fucking theme song. Fanta, Fanta, don't you want a Fanta? And it's going to be in your head for the next 3 fucking weeks. Those girls may be cute and all, but just the fact that they get in your brain for 3 weeks at a whack when you see one fucking commercial, it's a nightmare. And I will cap it off with this one last thing, okay? Has anyone in this thing ever even drank a fucking Fanta? No one ever has. No one has ever even seen a Fanta sold in a store.
I was
so
super excited because
is,
it cost 25 cents a can in Wisconsin out of a vending machine. I've never seen a vending machine only charge you 25 cents.
That's bad. Thank you for selling that more for me. Thank you.
No, you guys are both fucking wrong. It's Pepsi. Pepsi is the worst fucking soft drink ever. First of all, no, complete fucking opposite, Michelle here. Pepsi's way too fucking soft. They put the soft in soft drink. You drink it and you're like, oh, look, I wanted a carbonated beverage. Where the fuck did the carbonation go? Did you just lose it on the way out? Or are you giving me false advertisement? This is bullshit. And then they're cherry flavored. They're wild cherry Pepsi. It's not wild. It's shitty cherry Pepsi is what it should be called. It should just be a poop emoji in this with a fucking cherry on top, just to let you know, you're about to drink just brown shit that sort of has a cherry taste to it. And no, Coke is always on sale. Pepsi's the one that's never fucking on sale. That's how it actually goes, Michelle. You must be living in a bubble where you're at. So there's no possible way. Pepsi's by far, hands down, worst one.
Wow. This is
another tough one, Bert.
Awesome. I'm gonna go with Michelle 3, Brian 2, and Craig 1.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to stick to my guns and be. Or else everyone's going to get max points because I wasn't expecting this awesome excitement. All right. Which of the big ISPs do you hate the most? Comcast, Cox, or Verizon? Sorry. The order is Brian first, Craig, and then Michelle.
Oh, this is an easy pick for me because I have genuine fucking hate for Verizon.
Okay.
All right. I've had Verizon literally from minute 1 with my cell phones. And literally, if I wasn't grandfathered into a contract, my ass would have been so gone so fast. The last time I got a phone from a Verizon store, I walked into the store, asked for a phone. They gave me a phone. I took it home. The phone was broken. I went back to Verizon. I said I needed help with my contract. They said, "Don't worry. We're gonna drop your price on this one. It's gonna be great per month." My price went up by $30 a month. I came back. What the fuck? Oh, don't worry about it. It's just part of your new contract. What new contract? Fuck you is what they said to me. This is a real story of real shit that happened. I hate Verizon with a fiery passion because those motherfuckers rob me blind. That's my story.
No, you got to go. One, you got to stick to the actual question and the intent of the question. Burke was asking about the actual internet service provider portion, not the company as a whole selling the hardware. So it's got to be Comcast, because these motherfuckers never tell you when they're like, hey, guess what? We're fixing the line. Looks like you don't have internet for like 9 days. And then they go through and they're like, hey, we're going to give you something awesome. We're going to give you this super fast internet, which every 9 days is down because they're fucking servicing the lines. But then they're like, but you're gonna have a gig limit on you're gonna have a cap for your bandwidth, so you can only have so much per month. Oh, you didn't get that? We're gonna up it barely by a little bit, so you're still gonna hit the fucking caps. Oh, you need to do a business line? All right, well, you'll get priority now if you want all the internet you want for the speeds you want, except for it's gonna be 3 times the cost. And oh, guess what? The lines are still in service. You can't do anything. Fuck your internet usage.
No, you guys. Cox is obviously the worst, and it's because they made marketing mistake number 1. You don't name your fucking company after slang for genitalia.
Wow, we know who got 3 points on this one. We know who got 3 points. We got him out of his chair. That's it. Michelle literally was like,
oh my god, you fucking went there.
Wow. He was expecting it from maybe Craig or I, but not from Michelle, and it broke him because of it. Well done.
Oh my god. Thank you. That was the shortest and best argument ever. Oh. Okay. Yep. Brian, you get 1 point.
Okay.
Oh, fuck me. Which OS do you hate the most? Windows, Linux, or Mac? Craig, Michelle, Brian.
Okay. This one has to be for fucking sure Mac. Like, there's no possible way you could have that anywhere near your top, let's say 3,000 OSs ever. Because first of all, they try and make it like it's going to be all fucking intuitive, but it's not. Like, if you have any logical thought in your brain and you try and do something on a Mac, it's like, nope, that's not how you do it here. Like, well, yeah, but I wanted to do this one thing that's relatively simple, and every other thing does it
like
this
right
way.
Clicking?
But no, you can't do it. We're not going to let you do it. It's fine. Oh, guess what? You have to use iTunes. That's going to be on there. Try and uninstall it. I fucking dare you to try and uninstall it. Oh, you can't. Oh, that's fine. Just going to use it and everything. Oh, look, guess what? We're not going to have compatibility for every other goddamn thing in the world. Oh, it looks like it's just this. Haha, have fun. Fuck you.
I'm going to just throw Brian under the bus here. I don't even have an argument for why Windows is the worst, but I want Brian to have to argue for Linux.
Okay. Wait, that's it? You just said fuck you and it's my turn?
That's it.
Okay. So I have to argue why Linux is the worst. I'll tell you why it's the worst. It's simple. I've never even fucking heard of Linux and or know what it is. So clearly their marketing is shit to begin with, or it must be that bad of a system. So the fucking end.
Oh my god. Oof. Oh.
Worth it.
That was good. All right. I guess Craig, you'll get 3 on that one. Michelle, you're gonna have to get 1 on that one, and Brian, you'll get 2, because that was funny. I'll take it.
Okay.
All right. By the way, Linux is used more than Windows around the world.
I have no. If you showed me what Linux, if you go, this is Linux, and then you showed me like literally like a truck on fire, I would have been like, that's Linux. Like, I wouldn't know. I have no idea.
Mac is built on Unix. Almost the same thing.
It's built on guys who have cut off their stuff?
Yes, Unix.
Yeah,
Okay.
I only had Mac because I know Burke has pre-existing hatred for it.
Yep.
I was like, Windows, I could get a thing on. If you give me Linux, I'm like, no, if you know Linux, you never go away from it. And I can't talk Burke out of Linux. Burke loves Linux. I was like, I don't know what to say at that point.
All right. Question number 5. Which current gen console do you hate the most? You got Xbox One, PS4, and the Switch. Order. Michelle, Brian, and Craig.
I'm gonna go with that Xbox One X, because why did you need another console in the middle of the generation? Like, it's been a year. 1 year. And you came out with the fucking new model already, and it's not that much better. Like it's not worth the price jump that you gave. It could have been an add-on, or you could have just fucking waited.
So because we all have a 1X here in this, this thing, I'm glad you said that. I know
All the three guys do. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm actually going to say that the worst one is actually the Nintendo Switch. And I'll tell you why. Burke, how many times have we played online with the Nintendo Switch?
Nope.
Or have Craig and I played online with the Nintendo Switch? Yeah. It's 2018. They still have not figured out online capabilities whatsoever. They don't play well with others, and their proprietary software is pretty much, it's only Nintendo. Nintendo here, Nintendo here. Let's bring in these other developers. They got developed for a weird-ass system and that uses little micro SD cards. Sorry, guys. They shit the bed, and it's kind of showing. So that's why the Nintendo Switch is the worst.
No. You both are fucking wrong. It is completely the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4 is so fucking shitty, guys. Like, okay, so the biggest thing is, I don't know if any of you have ever had PlayStations before, but if you boot it up, you automatically have a 15-minute wait while you wait for the OS on it to update every fucking time. You could boot it down for 20 minutes, come back, and it's like, we've got an update for you. Here, gonna go install this update for you, and it takes fucking forever every single time. Oh, it's because their servers shut down fucking constantly too, or you can never connect into them. Oh, and that means you wanted to play online games. Well, at least the Nintendo Switch, you didn't think you were going to get online games, because with the PlayStation, you're like, I'm going to go play online with my friends. Oh, it's all fucking down again. Because constantly looking at both, they're like, let's do really cool single player games. Wait, let's have them update the OS all the time. Oh, let's have them play online like the Xbox does. Oh shit, let's have our system down all the time. It's just fucking horrible. It's just shitty all around.
Craig, had you led with, wow, their system gets hacked and others doesn't. It's like, I was waiting for that one.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know who. Michelle, you get the 1 point. I'll give you that. Like Craig and Brian, I don't know. I think I'm gonna give it to Brian this time. That was close. Yes. That was close. Question number 6. What book series do you hate the most? Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, or Critical Failures? And the order is Brian, Craig, and Michelle.
Well. The easy way for me, the easy one for me would have been to go with Harry Potter and rant about how bad Harry Potter is, but I'm not going to do that because I'd rather see one of them self-implode as they have to, rip Harry Potter apart.
Why do you think I put this question when this was the order?
I'm actually going to say Lord of the Rings is the worst. And I'll tell you why. Lord of the Rings is a 3-book series that was turned into a shit-long movie series that the entire thing is 80% walking and 20% action. On top of that, for as magical and whimsical as that world is, you see mostly the world of men rather than any of the other stuff, and they have such a good backstory that they don't ever get into. So I'm going to say that Lord of the Rings had a lot of potential, but out of the other ones that really captured high fantasy, Lord of the Rings totally shit the bed in the walking aspect.
No, you want to talk about shitting the bed. At least there was something to aspire to when Robert Bevan started writing Critical Failures. His whole thing is based off other people's work, and like I'm talking all the short stories. He's like, let's make a short story where they're going into I don't know if you guys have read this one, it's kind of recent, but they're gonna go through, and it's based on Beauty and the Beast. Like, okay, you just ripped off another story. He's like, here's another short story where I ripped off another story and it's a funny version of it. I'm like, are you ever gonna fucking like write your own shit, or are you just gonna find everybody else's material and then do satire off of it to fill out your fucking book? Bevan, get a real goddamn job.
I have been so eagerly waiting for Michelle because I knew Craig and I had the same thought process.
Okay, no. See, this is why Harry Potter has become the world's worst book series, because the author herself quit writing the books and she let them publish fucking fan fiction that sucks ass as official canon. And this is why Harry Potter is now the worst series, but has not always been.
Are you sure though, Michelle? Because I think a lot of points are riding on it being a shitty series the whole way through. So do you want to give it another crack? With
Nope, that's all I got. I can't do it.
What about like I don't know, the Sorcerer's Stone? Like that one's pretty shitty, right?
No.
How about the digression from Harry being a little whiny bitch the entirety of Order of the Phoenix?
Or how about the fact that really Snape might be the most boring character that's ever been written into any book ever?
I think Craig's reaching through the microphone to death choke you. Oh my god!
No, the only reason I'm making any face is just because obviously Critical Failures is the worst. So,
well, I mean, and if you think about it, all of those are really just Lord of the Rings ripoffs that in Lord of the Rings did it shittier the first time, so they were trying to get better than that.
No,
so.
Everybody's looking up to Lord of the Rings trying to do that, and they went shitty. So that's why
the only
Lord
people that
look
up to Lord of the Rings are the people with broken necks. So there's no way you're not looking up at that thing.
Oh my god! Thank you. Okay, Michelle, it's a weak argument. Disappointed in you, Michelle. It's a 1 point.
I'll take it. I'll take the sacrifice.
I'll take this sacrifice.
I'm gonna give it to Craig this time. I'm gonna give it to Craig, and then Brian.
Brian,
you get 2. Just so y'all are aware, we were 11-11-11 right before that that last one. Okay, question number 7. Which CW DC hero do you hate the most? Flash, Arrow, or Supergirl? Oh, yes, order. I get so excited to hear the answers, I forget to tell you the order. It's going to be Craig, Michelle, and Brian.
This one's easy because I actually believe this. Arrow is by far the worst fucking hero on the CW shows. He's so goddamn broody, and the storylines. Are we going the show or the character themselves? I want to make sure I know this.
Character.
Just the character. Fuck, you just took out a lot of my arguments because the goddamn storyline, they're reaching right now. Like, they're fucking reaching, trying to find stuff. But that's because, and I fucking can't say it because it's spoilers right now, the storyline they're doing with the character is probably the shittiest thing I've ever seen them try and do with this fucking character. So I'll try and go back to different things. But he is just the broodiest motherfucker that actually doesn't go through and kick ass like Batman does. Batman's broody, but then he'll go out there and break necks. Like, after season 1 of Arrow, they went through and they're like, we need to tone him down a little bit. He's being a little too. Let's make him broody, but now he doesn't take his anger out. So now he's going to be broody, and then he's just going to sit in the corner and not do anything about it. Like that's entertainment right there, boys. That's entertainment. That's right there. That's right there. Flagship. That's our flagship. Let's do this.
Okay.
No. I'm gonna go with Flash, and the reason is Barry Allen, very intelligent person. His intelligence never shows in the series, except when he's doing his CSI work, which if I wanted to see CSI work, I'd watch CSI. But no, Barry Allen just makes dumb fucking decisions if he is out of his CSI lab. Constantly makes dumb decisions, and he's not a dumb person.
I'm glad you guys left me Supergirl because this is the one I was hoping to get. Honestly, you want to talk about the worst? You know what's boring? What's the hardest thing to watch? Somebody who's perfect. I mean, think about it. Supergirl, Kara Danvers, is literally perfect. She's the perfect daughter, the perfect sister. She has all the powers on Earth. There's literally nothing that hurts her. And so when you're trying to make a show about a perfect person, the best thing you can come up with is like, she's upset occasionally. It's like, what? Like, that's the best you can get? Like she is so... Like, the cardinal sin, the reason that it's bad is that she's boring. It's the same reason that Superman is boring. It's like, do anything. Like, at least Arrow can like get cut on, like, if he cuts shaving or something. She's like, oh, I'm just fucking perfect. Like, it's just boring, and that's an awful thing to watch. It drives me nuts.
Okay, I liked all those arguments. Those was good. Brian, I'm gonna give you 1 point. Craig, you're gonna get 2. Michelle, you're gonna get 3 for that one beautiful line. All right.
My whole fucking, like, not the whole thing, but a majority of my argument on Arrow hinges on a season 6 storyline.
Oh, yeah. Question number 8. Which game franchise do you hate the most? Sorry, I have an evil laugh, evil face looking at everybody right now. We have Zelda, Pokemon, and Halo. And the order is Michelle, Brian, and Craig.
All right. I'm going to go with Pokemon. And the reason that I'm going with Pokemon is usually the original adaptations of things are the best representation of them. But Pokemon in anything except the games are 1,000 times cooler than the fucking games. Like, you have you know, in the anime, like, if you have a fire Pokemon and you tell it to do a fire command, like, the whole fucking place is getting lit up. But in the game, it's gonna be like, okay, here's the tiny little flame and it might poke you in the face, but it's probably not going to. Pokemon can dodge, but in the game, they're just stuck there. The games have this wonderful adventure premise set up, and they do a shitty job because you can only go to point A, from point A to point B, and the Pokemon moves suck ass in the games.
Thank you. That was awesome.
All right. I'm going to take, of course, Legend of Zelda. Because I think that needs to be talked about. The fact that you have that the only person that you get to play as throughout the course of the series is literally a metrosexual fairy boy who runs around in the woods playing with sticks. Like, literally, like, the entire time you're just this character. You're like, oh, I'm going to go on this grand adventure, but it's the most formulaic fucking adventure that has ever been formulated. Like, even the newest one, the most creative one, it's still following the same. Like, okay, did you beat all the bad guys? Okay, now you can fight the big guy. You did it. You won the game. It's like, what? It's so. Once again, it's boring. And if we're gonna play a video game, it should never be boring. The new one introduced some nice stuff, some like fluff and filler. But at the end of the day, the storyline suffered because of it, and all it is just a simple rehash of everything that's always been done since the very first one came out in 1987, which is just simply, boy gets a stick, fights big pig man. Game ends. Boring.
You want formulaic? Fucking turn right to Halo. Every goddamn game they've ever done. It's the end of Act 1. Hey, there's a little bit of a turn. Holy shit. There's like Halo 1. Holy shit, there's all this crap underground. This was built by somebody. And then going to Act 3. Oh, the big turn. There's the flood. Or like in Halo 2, it was the Act 1 turn. I'm playing as the Arbiter. And then the Act 2 was like, there's a grave mind. It is the most fucking laic storyline you've ever seen. Every single one of us, end of Act 1, small turn. End of Act 2, holy shit, this is blowing my brain. Time to do the fucking drive for the final level to get out of this thing before it all blows. Master Chief, da, 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 da. It's the whole fucking storyline. It's the same thing. They copy paste it every single time.
Oh, that was beautiful. Sorry, Craig. Brian, I'm gonna give you 3 points. I like the argument. Michelle, I'm gonna give you 2 points. And Craig, I'm giving you 1 because Halo was the best franchise ever. Question number 9. Which dinosaur do you hate the most? A T-Rex, a raptor, or a brontosaurus? And the order is Brian, Craig, and Michelle.
All right. This answer, I think, is a pretty easy pick, which is Brontosaurus. Brontosauruses, first off, they're not cool. They don't eat anything but plants. So automatically, you look at Jurassic Park. What's the least exciting thing about that movie? It's the Brontosaurus. At the beginning, they're like, wow, it's a dinosaur. But like by the end of the movie, you're like, fucking T-Rex, right? You're just all excited about the T-Rex and the Velociraptors and everything else. The coolest thing that the Brontosaurus does in Jurassic Park is literally blow snot on that kid. You remember that? That's the most action a Brontosaurus has ever seen in any fucking movie ever. So Brontosauruses suck.
No. First of all, the Brontosaurus is way better, and so is the Raptor way better than the T-Rex. See, the T-Rex is like, oh yeah, we've got this awesome, massive animal to go there. First of all, they didn't fucking run that fast. That is a complete falsity, right? And they were not the world's greatest hunters. The Raptors were the fucking greatest hunters of the dinosaur era. So you got the cool Brontosaurus, because you could technically, if you were in this Jurassic Park, you could go up to the Brontosaurus. Thing's not going to chew your face off, right? Not going to happen. The T-Rex, you're going to be sitting up there and look at it, and it's just going to like sit there and like yell real loud and then be done. Because you know that fucking raptor over there, you have to like put all this extra security over it, because you know that those things are pack mentality. They're going to train. You're going to get some guy that's going to look over and go, clever girl. So you don't want them to fucking mess with them. The T-Rex, you just put up a big fence and you're like, haha, fuck you. You're stupid. Go eat a goat somewhere. And that's it. They give you no entertainment value.
Okay, so first of all, Brontosaurus isn't even real. It's a fake dinosaur. So Brian's complete argument is null and void. It doesn't matter. It can't happen.
Did you just fake news my
No,
brontosaurus?
they're literally not a real dinosaur. They are, if you look it up, they are made up of pieces of other actual dinosaurs. No, it doesn't matter. Your ignorance is your problem. So first of all, Brian's just out of the question. But no, really, those raptors, they are obviously the worst dinosaurs ever because everyone is afraid of them and they're fucking 3.5 foot tall little shits. Like, who cares? They're not scary. They're not frightening. No, they're these little cute little things and everyone's like, oh my god, these are the worst. They're the scariest dinosaurs ever. No, go fuck yourself. You could like push it over.
You could push it over.
Oh my god. Wow. I think this might be like my hardest point giving. Wow. Y'all did such a good job. Like, Brian, your argument was beautiful. You dissed every other one first. That's the first time we've done it. Like, I put 3 points down as soon as you did that. I'm giving everyone 3 points. Fuck it. I can't decide. That was beautiful. That was like the first argument. I liked it. All right. Question number 10. And just so y'all are aware, this is the question that made me kind of think of this quiz, and I chose this one last. And obviously, Brian, I'm sure you know what's coming, or it's your turn to get fucked. So, what fast food / casual dining restaurant do you hate the most? Oh my god. I wish everyone at home could have seen Brian's just like back in his chair like motherfucker. Arby's, Wendy's, or Chipotle. And the order is Craig, Michelle, and Brian.
I have a hunch I know what I'm getting.
So this is easily Arby's. Wendy's is great. One, you have to just give them props because their fucking social media department knocks it out of the fucking park all the time.
Are you kidding
right?
me? Have you seen Arby's?
Not as good as Wendy's.
I love this.
Not doing it. So Arby's is fucking like they're down already on that one because Wendy's is such a great fucking social media account. All they have is fucking shitty roast beef. Like you're just like, hey, let's do wafer thin roast beef, and we're just gonna throw it out there. Oh, do you want to put cheese on it? This is cheese that we made back in 1950, and we just melted it down a little bit and put it on there. Like their cheese is worse than the Taco Bell meat caulk gun that they have. Like it's fucking horrible. It's like the chunkiest, and it's just shit all around. They're like Arby's sauce and horsey sauce, both also terrible. Like, oh, I'm gonna put this shit on there. Maybe it'll help mask the taste of ass that I'm putting into my mouth constantly. Oh, did you want something other than a roast beef sandwich? Fuck off and go to Wendy's if you want something else. So there's just no way.
No. See, Wendy's is the worst. And the reason that I say this is because if you order from any fast food place, and let's just say you go through drive-thru and you take it home, and it's gonna be cold no matter what place you go to because none of that shit keeps hot. But Wendy's is the worst about it because they make their fries. They advertise, oh, we use all this natural sea salt that they don't put on there, so they're fucking liars because they're too busy tweeting to salt their fries. And they're hot for literally the time it takes them to dump it into the fry thing and then into your bag. And after that, they're just fucking ice cold for the rest of forever.
Oh my god, thank you.
All right. All right. Here's why Chipotle is the fucking worst. No flavor. Bad queso. Gives the shits. Case closed.
He's not telling a lie.
He's not lying at all, guys. I'm not lying. I actually might have to jump on with Brian and say that Chipotle is the worst.
Oh. God damn it. Brian, I'm giving you 2 points for that argument. Just
Okay.
But I'm going to give Craig and Michelle both 3 points because those are really good arguments.
Damn.
Woo. All right. And the first runner-up, yes, you heard me correct, first runner-up is Brian with 22 points. And Craig and Michelle tied
wait,
with 23.
What? What?
Yes.
Really?
It was
So-
literally
Holy
tied.
shit.
Wait. Well, like when I didn't win, I mean, it was, it kind of goes without saying that one of those two was going to win it, but it's, I mean, obviously, and then needless to say, Craig, I thought was going to win, but he didn't. And
I got a couple fingers right here for you, buddy. Right here. See these fingers? I just want to make sure that they're visible. Is my camera picking them up? Is my camera picking them up?
Oh my
I
I'm just trying
can't
to
see
test the
him. Show
quality
me
of my
again.
camera. Hold on. Where's the quality of my camera? Is it
Oh
good
my
right now? I
God.
think I'm blurring out. Hold on. Let me just.
So this turned out a whole lot better than I thought it was going to. Thank you guys. That was beautiful. Like I thought of that first question, the founding fathers. I was like, what's 3 things I can group together? I just tried it. I'm like, okay, sure. And then when y'all answered, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah, my fear with you being
historically
excited.
accurate shit in
My fear
mine.
with you being excited for the quiz is that we were gonna ruin it.
Oh my God. And so,
Which is standard procedure.
and so Brian, so that last question, I actually texted Craig and Michelle going, hey, this is a question. Make sure to fuck Brian. And then I was like, wait, I can fuck everyone. And that's when I started like messing with the order going, okay, this question's going here. And I'm like, they're just like, I was like, I bet you they're going to fuck with
Sure.
someone. And it turned, sure enough,
Oh,
it
yeah.
happened. It happened.
Oh fucking A. That was a brilliant
That was
quiz.
awesome.
Those are fun. Those are really fun to do. And I don't
Wow.
irrationally hate this quiz. I would like
Well,
us
good,
to do
thank you.
these more often. I really like
you.
this idea. We should use this as a template, needless to say, for what it's worth, et cetera, et cetera. Fuck me.
Oh, man.
Well, hey, it's time for the end of our podcast, and you know what we always say, kind of goes without saying.
Chipotle got dunked on!